Hi, I hope you're well. So I noticed a little bit of scorching on some of the cuts that I made in this 4mm thick aircraft grade birch ply that I used recently for the inserts for the Cis Tote video. Came out a week ago, I think. And I realized that the saw I was using for it, this saw, the Festool CSC Cis 50, I realized that I've had this almost exactly 12 months now, and I've never actually cleaned it. Not once have I looked at it. I just bought it and started using it. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to open it up and I'm going to have a look at what horrors lie inside. I'll have a little bit of a chat about how the saw's done over the last 12 months as well. By the way, if you're new to this saw, then I've done a few videos about it along the way. I'll link them all up down below, but it was basically a new cordless table saw from Festool that launched in January 2023. It's got a sliding table, which I think was a first for a saw of this size. I pre-ordered it straight away. Deliveries were horribly delayed, so after 4 months I cancelled that order and I did what a normal person would do, which is just buy it off Amazon, who delivered it within a couple of days towards the end of May last year. I'm not generally a table saw user. I bought this one because I wanted to try out a quiet, accurate saw with great dust collection, and I guess we'll get to see how good that dust collection was. So safety first, power off of course, make sure that's off. Open this up and have a look inside. I've got to say, that's not actually bad in there at all, considering that's a year's worth of dust that's actually escaped the extraction process. That's actually pretty impressive. If you opened up my bandsaw after a year, you'd find enough debris inside to bury a small child, I think. I'll need a smaller vacuum hose to get into all those little nooks and crannies, I think, and there's a little bit of debris in the under blade guard, which is essential to the dust extraction process, so you need to keep that as clear as possible. I'll take the blade out first though, so that can be in a cleaning solution. Never actually done this before. I just bought the saw and started using it. I seem to recall there's a blade change setting, so we need to power it back up again and then get that out. So let's take a quick look. So power's definitely off. I can use the driving knife and the blade guard off, and then I can use the green button as the spindle lock. I can use the Allen key to get the blade out. Yes, skinned knuckles coming up. There we go. I want to come out without a fight. We got there in the end. Okay. So the blade actually doesn't look too bad. Obviously there's a build-up of resin and stuff on the teeth. So we'll get that in some cleaning solution. Let that soak a little while. Then we'll carry on with the general cleanup on the saw. So I've got an actual blade and tool cleaner for this. I know some folks use oven cleaner or all kinds for it, and if that works for you, then that's fine. I'll use the actual tool cleaner. Yeah, you can see the colour coming off that already. Doesn't take long, a few minutes is generally enough. but I'm going to help it along with a little bit of old toothbrush. It looks altogether happier. What a difference that makes. Yes, I think while I've got the blade cleaner out, I'll do a couple of other blades as well. But yeah, that's really nice. I won't bother putting that bin back yet. I'll do the cleanup on the rest of the vacuum first, and I'll get this popped back in. Make sure it's cutting right. Okay, that's all looking pretty good in there. I will start by getting the blade back in. Make a note of the direction of rotation. So the teeth are cutting downwards. This was a little awkward to get out, I have to say. There you go. And then this would be a left-hand thread to lock it on. And the Allen key again. And the spindle lock. Nice. Rubbing that from the blade guard back in. And the cover. So I've got to say the sliding table has been an absolute joy to use, especially with this, especially for repeat cuts, small repeat cuts, and especially with this Benchdogs CSC Cis fence. Just to be able to get a flag stop on that is just incredibly useful. Very, very nice indeed. One slight niggle with the Benchdogs fence attachment is that it does need to be set, the saw blade height does need to be set to 36 millimeters or thereabouts in order for it to clear. So if you're cutting really thin stock like 4mm, it just feels like you've got an awful lot of blade out there. But yeah, excellent, all things considered. The fences worked really well. I found the lack of the fine adjust irritating sometimes when everything else is so precise. To not be able to just squeeze that fence over just a smidgen. You can get there, but it takes longer, and it would have been nice to be able to move the fence over by the thickness of the sheet of paper sometimes, because sometimes that's exactly what you need. It would have been nice, even if only on this section, to have some kind of micro adjust on it, and I don't know if it would even be possible to retrofit that. So that's the saw cleaned up and cleared out, and not before time, to be perfectly honest. It's been fantastic over the year that I've used it. I said way back in January 2023 that with any big ticket purchase, and this is the most expensive tool I've ever bought, with any big ticket purchase, there's a little bit of a leap of faith in the buying process, because you never truly know how something's going to work for you until you get it back into your own workspace and settled in. I didn't know how this saw was going to work out for me, but over the last 12 months, it really has turned out to be the Goldilocks of saws, just right in terms of size and capacity, noise, dust extraction, all the things that were on the top of my wish list at the very start, and especially in combination with a track saw and an NFT style cutting solution. I feel like it covers the vast majority of my needs. Now, when I first got the saw, I found that the batteries drained at a slightly different rate. There was a bit of a debate going on as to whether a Bluetooth battery drained faster than a non-Bluetooth battery. I've only got one pair of Bluetooth batteries, so I had one paired and one not. And to be honest, that Bluetooth certainly didn't seem to make a difference. So I did find that the rearmost battery drains faster than the front one. I've only got one set of Bluetooth batteries, and originally I just had that in the vacuum, and then I've got a pair of plain spare 4.2 amp non-Bluetooth batteries. I put those in. I realised after a little while that what I should be doing, and what I've done since then, is I keep the Bluetooth, the beefier 5 amp Bluetooth battery in the slot that drains faster, and I use a non-Bluetooth battery in the front one. The 4.2s still drain a bit quicker, but it means that with a mismatched pair, if you like, I've always got a Bluetooth battery available. So the elephant in the room question, after all this time, do I still think that the Festool CSC50 should have a mains cable? I've got to say that in a year of using it, there's only been one occasion where I've run the battery flat mid-cut. I just swap the batteries out, turn the saw back on, and finish the cut without any fuss or bother. Does it need a mains cable? No, but I still think it should be offered as an option, whether that's to power the saw directly or just to trickle charge the batteries. I think it's a choice that shouldn't be taken away from paying customers. So there you go. 12 months on, it's definitely a keeper. I have thought about making a better cabinet for it, but to be honest, the one-day build that I lashed together seems to be holding up just fine. So I'm going to leave it as it is for now, and I'll call this one done for this week. Thanks so much for taking a look, and I'll catch you all again very soon. All right, take care.